The story so far.
Before you know it, waves overwhelm the Viola.
I'll go hunt.
Yeah, go off by myself.
You could.
If we think there's anything more to discover.
1 year ago, 4 colleagues of yours were working aboard the cruise ship Prospero. When the ship sank, they were washed up on a remote island. 3 of the 4 came back.
I was going to head north and explore.
A crumbly bit of ledge gives way, and you find yourself tumbling.
No.
You see lava spewing down the sides of the volcano.
Life's a game, the world's a stage, and we're all merely players.
The whole plateau shakes, and you start to see shining, bright, yellow-white lava spewing slowly but surely down the sides of the volcano.
In their direction or every direction? Towards the camp as well as to them down the ravine?
If it's going towards...
'Cause they're going down
they're here on the ravine, so it might miss the camp. You might be lucky.
We've sort of got the lake between us and the camp as well.
Yeah.
So hopefully...
So, yeah, that might be okay, but Strat and Josh are definitely in even more imminent danger.
Yeah.
Presumably we see this.
Yes, as you're hiking through the jungle towards the lake, you didn't know that there was a lake there, but now following
The tracks.
following where they said they were going to go on your etched map, you head in that direction and you come across the lake and the geysers. And as you're marvelling or standing in awe, looking at the geysers going off and noticing that Strat and Josh don't seem to be there, you see the plume turn bright. You see lava start to cascade down.
I like to
the
listen to my
volcano.
instincts.
Okay.
And by listening to my instincts, I want to know what the immediate danger that we're in right now.
Roll it, and then we'll see how many questions you get to ask.
Okay, cool.
So it's roll instinct.
So I'm not facing animal danger, just straight instinct.
Oh, dear me.
Well, that's a 3.
Ask one of those questions. Don't expect to like the answer.
Okay. What's the least dangerous path to my goal? The goal is to find these guys.
Two, yeah.
So I want to know where these guys are and how am I going to get there with suffering the least amount of damage, having seen the geysers and everything.
So, what's the least dangerous path to your goal? You rolled a fail, so you're not going to like the answer. Mm-hmm. The least dangerous path to rescue these two,
or find these two,
or to find them. Sorry, I mean it's through the geysers. You've got to go directly through the field of steam vents, geysers, deep holes full of hot steam.
Right. I say to Natalie, right. Well, I have a feeling the lads are over there. I can see there's a bit of twine that's tied around a tree that sort of goes in that direction over there. I think it might be them over there.
Okay.
But it's through these big steamy things.
I might just shout, like, Strat, Josh, guys.
I think you're probably too far away.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to follow the tracks to see if I can see the route that Josh took.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, go for it. Roll instinct.
It's a 6. No, I don't get a bonus. It's just a skill I can do.
Anyway?
How would you help?
By also looking around, like, because I've spotted the vine. Maybe that might help.
Yeah, you can roll to help.
Passing my morale. So that is 8, 10.
Okay, add 2.
Okay, so...
What does that take you up to?
7, I think.
You get what you want, but there's some sort of cost or it's not as effective, so...
Maybe we know they've gone. We've got a long way round through the geysers. We know exactly where they are, but we can't see the best path to go there.
Yeah, I think either... so you can see where they went, and you've got an idea of the path that Josh took to avoid the geysers, but your choices are to stay reasonably safe from the geysers, but it'll take you a while. You don't know what sort of danger they'll get into in that time, or to go a bit faster and potentially face
I think there's a
danger
volcano
yourselves.
going off. I think we
Yeah,
need
we've got to
speed.
be quick. And we can see that they've gone towards a cliff now, right?
Yeah, because Josh worked out that Strat was going towards a cliff
Yeah.
from this area, so yeah, you can.
So we can see the cliff face, the cliff edge almost. Like maybe like a crumbled piece of rock, which sort of looks like it was part of the scenery
You
beforehand.
know they must have gone that way and you can't see them, so you imagine the worst.
Right. I'd like to go there via untying the knot and grabbing the vine that I saw lying on the ground. So that might even be more dangerous potentially. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run through the geysers,
You're gonna run through.
and then grab the vine and then run towards the edge.
Roll instinct.
Oh, God.
Oh. 7. 8. I'm not going to burn them around. No, 8.
Do I roll separately to do the same thing?
Yes, please.
That's also an 8.
Pick one. Prevent harm to yourself or get yourself out of harm's way.
Getting out of harm's way would be not going to the geysers, presumably, so we stay on our edge.
No, it would be that you get through the geysers and are not in danger anymore.
Or what was the other one, sorry?
Prevent harm.
So
you can get through in this kind of move,
but take harm.
but get hurt on the way, or you can stay safe, but you're still in danger.
I'm going to get through.
Sorry,
Take
not stay undamaged, but remain in danger.
I'm going to take a morale hit to get through.
Okay. You're scalded by one of the geysers as it goes off, as you miscalculate and it goes off, but you manage to make it through the geysers onto the flat plateau.
I think it makes more sense for me because I'm trying to get the vine. So I'm going to not take the morale. I'm going to go sort of for the vine, so I'm still in danger.
Yeah.
But I've not taken any damage yet.
Okay.
So do you want me to do another roll from the vine to the edge?
Yeah. Yeah, your geysers are still going off around you. How do you get out of this?
I'm going to sort of have a look around me to see what other there is around the trees, if there's like any dropped leaves from the eruptions that might be going off. I'm just going to sort of like shove them up my sleeves and up my trouser legs and down my top and over my head and just sort of try and make any sort of barrier I can between the steam and me. If it's just like the smallest amount, it's going to help, right?
All right, roll intellect.
Ooh. That is a 10.
Nice.
You avoid the danger, and if you go through the geysers again, you'll have +1 to deal with them.
Right, so I'm going to take the vine and I'm going to go through the geysers.
With your sleeves stuffed full of leaves,
Yeah.
some of them go off around you, but you're insulated, and you manage to get through.
Cool.
Full of morale still.
Great. That was good. We look over the edge.
Yeah.
What do we see?
Guys?
Josh, me, I am sprawled out like a starfish in an unnatural position towards the base. Not at the very bottom of this rift, but where it sort of levels out slightly. I'm still on a bit of a decline. I seem to be awake and lucid, and you can't see any blood or any like broken bones, but I'm certainly in quite a bad way.
So I fell, right?
You
happened?
were in a position where you were dangling.
Oh, yes, I'm just dangling.
And the lava is getting nearer.
I think the most immediate danger to you two right now, Josh and Strat, is tremors.
Sure.
That the ground is shaking as the volcano awakes, and that Josh, you might be shaken off your ledge, and Strat, the piece of scrap that you've got jammed into a gap between two rocks, might be shaken loose at any second.
Fine. Would the vine be able to reach them that we've got?
I think it could reach Strat.
Okay. So I'm going to tie it around the nearest stump or tree and chuck it down to Strat down the bottom. So, catch the vine, Strat!
I will do that.
And can you grab Josh at the same time? Are you that close to him?
No, I don't think I
Not
was. He's really hurt. I should try and get to him still and maybe tie the vine around him, and then maybe you can pull him up.
I don't think the vine can reach him.
Oh. Then I think you need to come down and help me with Josh. There's no way I can get him up by myself. And if we keep going down, we're going away from the lava, and maybe we could double back round to the camp.
So we're going to climb down.
Let's do it.
So we're going to climb down to as far down the rope as we can go, and then free climb down to the ledge down to Josh.
Guess so. We've got like bits and scraps of tools and a couple of sharp sticks we can use as
Then we
batons.
leave. We've got the sharp sticks, but we might probably have the tools and stuff
Yeah.
back at the scrap that we found back at the base. Maybe I don't know. We don't have to done.
Well, I'm going to say I still have pointy stick and bow and arrow.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go down to Josh, and then we're going to get them down the bottom of the hill.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm not on the tree.
Okay.
Vine on my arrow jammed into the mountain, so we can get it back and keep the vine.
Awesome.
Once we've climbed off it.
Okay, so slam it in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
You go first.
Okay, I'll start climbing down the rope.
Okay, so the two of you can get to Strat's level using the vine, and the rest of the climb, I think, if the three of you are all aiming to get down to Josh, I'd like some resolve rolls. Really. As you climb and your muscles begin to scream with the effort.
Even though Josh is on a lower level, this counts as being
is together.
Yeah.
Can I help us out by using my instincts to try and track the best path down to Josh?
Yes, yeah, roll instinct for that.
That's a 6. Then.
All right, so listen to your instincts question.
Now, what is the least dangerous path to my goal?
The least dangerous path to Josh still involves an overhang, so it's going to be a difficult climb.
Okay, so we're going to get down the rope, free climb,
Yeah.
hoist the arrow with the rope on, so we've got the rope back. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Going to jam that arrow back in the rock.
Yeah.
And then go down again.
Okay.
All three of us. Free hang.
One at a time.
Yeah.
The bit I'm hanging on to, is it still a gradient, or is it sheer?
It's sort of it's not gradient, but there is texture to it. It's kind of the rock is in layers, so it's not just flat.
Yeah.
But it's not. The base of the plateau is not flared out. It's not like a slope. But there are bits where there are shelves, and there are bits where there are overhangs. What are you aiming at?
I'm not a climber, but I was hoping to scope out a route where I could just let myself drop onto different plateaus. Kind of essentially just slide down, essentially controlled falling down there. So I'm not actually relying on my strength. I'm just aiming myself at the next bit that I can land on.
Drops.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so for you, it's going to be intellect.
Okay.
I'm just going to try and climb down.
Climbing, so it's a resolve for that.
Yep, I'm going to climb as well.
Great, resolve for you as well.
Ooh, thank goodness for that delicious +1 to my resolve.
Nice.
That's a 10 for me.
A 10 for Starkey. Okay, so for you, you do what you set out to do.
Great, I scale down and get to Josh.
Cool.
Yes, you've reached Josh. Josh. The beatific face of Starkey smiles down at you.
I'm here, Josh.
You're looking much better with the bee stings. It's much better now.
Yes, wonders. Works wonders. Your makeup is fantastic.
Thank you, John.
Nat, what did you get?
I got a 7.
A 7. Choose one. Either it costs you time, resources, or morale, or you don't manage it and you have to find a different way.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if Starkey is with Josh, then someone is with him. It can take me a little bit longer.
Okay, it takes you time. So Starkey is with Josh. Nat is still climbing. Strat, what do you get?
6.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you're going to take one harm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was just going to do this. Is not an easy thing to do, and I'm just jumping down a cliff, and it's just going to take it completely out of me. I'm just exhausted by the time I get to the bottom.
I like that. So you get to the bottom and you are a wreck.
Yeah.
You're at 0 morale. You're choosing exhausted.
Yeah.
So what this means is you cannot regain morale or take action until the others can bring you plentiful nourishment. You need to regain your strength.
Oh.
No.
That was a bad decision.
I got some honeycomb on me.
You do. Excellent. That's a shot of energy.
Yeah.
Rabbits
That's a load
and
of
fish
sugar.
and
Not
everything
quite
back at
rum.
the bloody base.
The rum is gone, I'm afraid. But
That's a big sugar shot, so maybe, you never know.
Starkey, what do you want to do with Josh?
I want to try and get him back. I'm going to sort of scan the situation, look around my surroundings, sort of get a feel for what's around the place, and I'm just going to trust my very basic survival skills just to sort of find the problem and snap it back into if he's got like a dislocated shoulder, to go,
you know what? That is literally what I was going to say. In my head, I dislocated a shoulder, and my back's all punctured with the glass bottle shards.
I have no idea.
Some of them out.
I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm just going to have a feel of it and just trust myself and go, "Oh, this next one's right," and knock it back.
We dancers are very densely packed with muscle, so I've probably absorbed quite a bit of it on the fall. I think I've just popped a shoulder.
Yeah, I think this is intellect.
Okay.
Give me an intellect to see if you can effectively work out what the problem is and snap the right thing in the right direction.
Choose the right arm.
No, that's a 6. That's a 5.
Oh dear.
You don't manage to. Josh is still injured. Josh still is out of it and cannot regain morale.
Sure.
After you've done this, after you've spent the time to try and do this, and it just doesn't seem to be working, at that point is when Nat makes it to the same platform that you two are on.
Here she comes to save the day.
Please save the day.
And because of the extra time that it took you to do that, you can now see up at the top of the plateau. First of all, you can't believe you've climbed that far. It's an amazing superhuman feat for people who were cruise ship entertainers only a couple of days ago. But you can see a worrying red-yellow light glow appearing at the top of the plateau.
Oh, that's
that
really
suggests that you may not have long before it turns into a lava waterfall.
Okay.
That'll sting.
Okay, well, we need to get moving, so who cannot move right now?
So how far away from the bottom of the ravine are we? Are we on the bottom now?
You three, Starkey, Nat and Josh, are not quite at the bottom yet, but it's definitely within sight. It's not... The climb that you've already done is the majority of it. It's not going to be another really, really difficult climb.
Fine.
Sure. Okay.
Right, so I'm going to sling Josh. Yeah. I do say, I think he's hurt his shoulder. I'm not quite sure, but it's a little...
But your legs work.
My legs are fine. He just put the shoulder in the wrong way, and I think it trapped a nerve.
Okay, well, let's deal with that in a moment.
Yeah, he's not totally immobile. He's not total dead weight. He's just can't really do anything or help with anything at the moment. He's in too much of a state.
Well, I take his good arm and wrap it over my sort of shoulders and sort of grip him. So this might be a bit bumpy, I'm afraid, Joshy, but just hold on tight. And I sort of just start sliding down the hill towards Strat.
Make sure I've pulled the arrow and the vine and stuff and collected all that with me, nice. And I'm going to just slide down behind you.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so the three of you come to Strat, who is lying panting in the undergrowth. Welcome, one and all. You're listening to Merely Roleplayers, where theatrical people play role-playing games. I'm Matt, your compere for this production of Prospero and Viola, Act 8 of 10. While the performers do a quick scene change, let's take the chance to flick through the programme. Remember me banging on about the Audioverse Awards last year? The results are now in. It wasn't our year this time round, but there are easily enough deserving winners to keep us all in podcasts until nominations open again. I'm especially happy to see Campaign Skyjacks being recognised for its players, direction and music, and Within the Wires for its writing and for Lee Lebreton's performance as Michael Whitten. You can find the big list of winners at audioverseawards.net. I'm going to be at the London Tabletop Industry Networking Night on the 31st of January, hoping to meet some other podcasters and game designers and generally be nosy about what other people nearby are up to. If you make games or game-related things and you can make it to Stratford in London on a Friday evening, you can search for London Tabletop Industry Networking on Eventbrite or Facebook for details. It's free, but I think you are supposed to book so they can sort out numbers. And then the very next day, Saturday 1st of February, Alex and I are heading to Birmingham to exhibit in the Podcasters Promenade at the Pod UK convention. If you're still on the fence about coming to this one, you need to make your mind up soon, because I'm hearing that it's very nearly sold out. You can get tickets at rocksaltevents.com/poduk2020, and keep an eye on my Twitter at MerelyMJ and the Merely Roleplayers Twitter at MerelyRoleplay for details of where to find us on the day. Just before we raise the curtain once again, we've got a trailer from The GM and Me, a fellow member of the UK and Ireland Tabletop RPGs podcasters community. The GM and Me is a duet play podcast with one game master running games for just one player. Take a listen, and then we're jumping ahead a year to join the crew of the Viola.
Oh, hello. Come in, take a seat, why don't you? Let me pour you a drink. Don't worry about that. This one's on the house. You know, I've had all sorts pass through here over the years, and they've all got stories to share. Yeah, I've had Kelly Perkins, a hero from Earth sent to save a colony on Mars, no less. I've had Captain Thomas Burton. He was in the British Army during the First World War, don't you know? Came face to face with a mythical beast from beyond the stars. And then there was Fen Falstock, a bounty hunter from a galaxy far, far away. And on this particular job, his life got turned upside down. Fate's a fickle mistress, but she always leaves us with a tale to tell. And something I've noticed about these tales over the years is they all start the same way. That adventurer comes in and they order their drink and they say to me, "Barkeep, let me tell you a story." And then they look me square in the eye and they say, "It all started with the Game Master and me."
To find out more, follow us on Twitter at The GM and Me or visit our website, thegamemasterandme.com.
Vikki clears out the fish, spends some time doing it.
Complains loudly about it.
Yeah, it takes time, but nothing else.
Alex is hunting. I'm having a scout
Okay, cool.
in the grasslands.
And Dave, what are you doing?
I'm making a fire.
Cool, so you're after firewood. In fact, there is...
Well, I was going to use the pallet beds if I had to.
There's also firewood on the shelter. I forgot to mention that.
Done, the other team.
Yeah, well done. Didn't they do well?
But they didn't try and fight a pig as soon as they arrived.
Scare off some crocodiles, get wrapped up with a conger eel, goddamn.
So yeah, I'll just start building. And I've got the flint, so I just need to find a bit of... There's probably a little bit of kindling around.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Even some just dry palm.
Yeah. Okay. So Dave and Vikki spend the evening as
the house ready.
As the night draws in. Yeah.
Nice.
Clearing out the shelter, making a fire, making sure that you all have a safe place to sleep for the night. Ellen, what are you heading into the grassland looking for? Are you just having a general look-see, or is there something that you're after there?
I think that I'm trying to scout this kind of corner, if I can,
Oh yeah.
of the island.
Okay, so you want to go through the grassland,
just to
maybe?
see, because I think I'm still convinced that Strat's here somewhere, and I want to see if I can see any kind of sign of like human occupation,
or the rest of a paddle steamer.
The rest of a paddle steamer / spaceship, apparently.
All right, signs of life.
Yes.
Okay, roll instinct.
0, great. I am by myself. So maybe.
Do you consider this a giant risk?
No, but I put / risk.
Oh yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, go for it then.
Thank you.
I think wandering around the island on your own seems to be pretty dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah.
11. Nice.
So you said you were going through the grassland and you wanted to fill in this blank area, right? So it can just be more grassland if you like, or you can change the terrain, whatever you want it to be, because you rolled really well. You do find what you're looking for, and there is danger in the way, but you get to decide what it is.
Okay.
So talk to us about what you find as you head through this grassland.
Okay, so I think as I come out of the woodland, the terrain sort of flattens out, and whereas what's behind me is quite rocky and hilly and you can't see very far, I feel like the land leading down to the shore here, leading down to like the mangrovey bit, is quite gentle rolling plain. It's not, there's nothing blocking my view. And yeah, I'd say grassland continuing. And I think that means that I can almost see in the dying light to the shore. And along that path, I can see a building of some kind, or what I think is a building. Like, slightly silhouetted.
Just something that doesn't look natural.
Yeah, it doesn't look natural. It's a shape with edges.
I think this is a mystery.
Great.
Bum, bum, bum.
I haven't had a mystery.
Yeah. So yeah, you can see some sort of artificial structure there.
Okay.
It doesn't look natural. You're pretty sure this is the evidence that you were looking for. Before you can get there, there's some sort of danger you're going to have to face. What do you think it is?
I think that it's getting dark. It's the problem. I have no idea what's out there. I don't know what animals inhabit this area, and it's getting dark. So as much as I like to take risks, there is no way I'm going to make it to whatever that object is in the dark without being attacked by God knows how many things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in fact...
Or losing your way.
Or losing my way.
Lost
Forever, do a strat.
Fall down or whatever.
Yeah, I think the main danger, it seems fairly quiet, but the main danger of the fact that night is falling is that you're not sure you'll be able to find your way back.
Okay, sure, yeah.
So what would you like to do? Do you want to press on and risk not being able to find your way back? You can still roll to try and do that. Or do you want to head back now while you know that you can make it back to camp?
I think I'm going to take a risk and head out by myself.
So you head down this rolling, grassy prairie kind of terrain. You see the grass rustle in places, like maybe there are little small animals running around, but they don't seem like they're like skittish and moving away and seem to be scared of you rather than like stalking you. You see the odd slightly taller tree. One of them's got a beehive on it, which is where you imagine the honeycomb that was in the camp must have come from. But as you approach this structure, the closer you get, the more you're thinking, is that? No, it can't be. But the closer you get, you're going, it can't be anything else. It's unmistakable. Up on high stilts.
No.
In this kind of on near the shore, as you approach the shore, heading down this rolling plain, it's Brighton Pier.
But not so inland, not on the coast.
I think it can straddle a little. Yeah, it can be projecting into the sea. I think that's probably the most sensible place.
I mean, that's the most sensible place for it because it is, after all, a pier.
Yeah, just because the ship is the little steamboat is in the most sensible place for a steamboat.
How do we not see that when we landed in the swamp?
It's definitely what a pier looks like.
We were very distracted by the old crocodile.
And it was dark.
I didn't see that at all.
No, it was getting dark. You're right. It was nearly dark.
This is clearly impossible and mysterious. But perhaps, I don't know, you can tell us what your reaction to this is, because it might not be as extreme as some of the others, because you recognise this and you have memories associated with it.
Yeah.
But maybe this version of you that you are right now also has been to Brighton Pier, so maybe it wouldn't be weird that you recognise it.
It wouldn't be weird that I recognise it. The fact that it's here, it's not okay. No. So I think all the amount of like doubt I had earlier, the others going on about spaceships, I'm starting to worry that whatever has got into them has got into me. I thought I was safe from the craziness, but what I'm seeing is legitimately Brighton Pier. It says Brighton Pier on an arch over it. It can't just be someone making a version of Brighton Pier for funsies. Nobody lives here.
So are you confronting this idea head on? Are you really trying to wrap your head around it?
I think I'm sort of glad that something has happened that means that my crew friends are not mental, and that it makes it more legitimate, and I am experiencing my own version of this phenomenal. So I think I'm going to go on the pier. I'm going to have a little look, make sure it is what I think it is. Cool.
You step onto the pier. Seems solid. Feels like stepping onto wooden planks, like it's supposed to.
Yeah, it doesn't feel newly built.
No, it seems weathered. Okay. The paint is peeling off of the balustrades.
Are there food stalls?
There are
penny falls.
There are stalls. There are arcades. Everything is still and quiet.
Okay, this is very disturbing. I think that I want everyone else to see this and for them to verify that it is real and actually there. So I don't know whether I should go back and get them now or spend the night where I am. Okay, I'm gonna try and get back to camp now and like mentally take a picture of where I've been.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and get back, tell everyone about it.
Do you kind of compartmentalise the mystery, or are you actively like considering it and trying to think your way around it? Because there's a roll that you can do to ask some questions.
Yeah.
If you want to do that.
I think I would like to ask some questions in my own head about can I do it as I'm like walking back to camp?
We'll play it out as you're on the pier, because that seems like the sensible place to be considering the question. So roll resolve.
Okay. A -1, great.
But you are taking a big risk by being here.
Great. So that's okay. Oh, 7. 7?
Ask 2 questions and I will answer them.
How does it connect to other mysteries we've discovered?
All the mysterious things you found on this island are things that seem weirdly familiar to the 4 of you. Mm-hmm. The 4 of you seem to be the common denominator. It's like the island is serving up mysteries for you, and it gets you thinking about, would these same things be here if we hadn't been shipwrecked here?
Mm-hmm. Okay. How did it get here?
It looks like it's always been here. It looks like it was built on this shore. Like, it doesn't look like it's been, like, dropped here. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look like it's been, I don't know, teleported here, whatever that would look like. It looks like this is where it's been built.
Right. With that in mind, I want to get back as soon as I possibly can.
So, to not get lost on the way back, roll instinct.
Ooh. 7.
You can get back, but it'll cost you either time, morale, or some sort of resource.
I don't have anything with me. I'm on a 2 morale, so I think I can turn up feeling a bit like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, I'm going with morale.
Okay, yeah. It tires you out, and also, like, there are points where you think you're lost and it takes a mental toll on you. The thought that you might just be alone on this island among who knows what dangers.
Okay.
But you make it back to camp. Alex, you were going hunting.
Going hunting.
You're going hunting in the woods?
I'm going to go hunting in the woods, yes.
Great, roll instinct.
What is it? 11.
Brilliant. You get a good look at your goal, which was some food of whatever description you want. Mm-hmm. You get a good look at the danger that you'll have to overcome to reach it. Mm-hmm. You get to say what that danger is, and you get +1 against it.
My goal was some sort of food, and I think I find like a little group of sort of like nesting birds. Danger is a particularly sharp blade of grass. Just lone blade of grass. I think it's darkness as well.
Okay.
Because it's getting dark. I'm in a forest.
You don't have a torch.
I don't have a torch, so I think that's the danger that I'm currently facing.
Okay, so it's that on your way back you might trip in the darkness, you might get lost in the darkness. Okay, in which case, describe to us how you achieve your goal. You get some food.
Well, I very, very quietly sneak up on it, and I'll give it a shank.
You get some nesting birds and you get some eggs.
I get some eggs.
Nice.
I am not sure if I'd take the eggs. I feel a bit bad about that. I don't know
Having
why.
just killed the parents.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, but there's more than one of them, so like,
Alright.
it's not just. So,
Fried eggs, Alex.
well, we know where they are.
Okay, fine.
And when there's more birds, there's more eggs. So I'm thinking about longevity.
Okay, cool.
And I don't want to disturb the nest because then they'll run away.
Doing a bit of animal husbandry.
Yeah, thinking I'm playing the long game. So yeah, I sling the little bird over my back and start making my way back.
Okay, how do you go about mitigating the danger of the darkness?
I just go really, really slowly. I don't like start running anywhere. I know that the way that I got here was relatively safe and sensible, so I try and retrace my steps as best as I can, and I just take my time and I start using my peripheral vision, because when it's darker, your peripheral vision is a lot better than the forward vision due to the rods and cones in your eyes. That is science fact.
Every day's a school day.
Every day is a school day. We're role players.
Well, roll intellect then.
Thank you very much. It's -1, but it's +1 because of the... Did I get +1 to
because
it?
you have +1 to defend against this danger. Yes.
So
you rolled so
it's
well.
a 0. That's 6, which is a 5, which is a fail, isn't it?
Yes.
Great.
I'm going to give you the choice. Do you injure yourself but get back to camp? Or do you get lost and have to spend the night in the woods?
Such a good choice.
I know, right? I think, given I'm going to injure myself because I've still got morale to be lost, and I get back to camp because then I can recharge it.
So, how do you injure yourself in the dark? Do you think, is it a trip?
Yes, a trip.
Sprain, break, you're not sure.
Oh boy.
Oh,
You're hobbling.
Yeah, so you're hobbling. You twist your foot under a protruding root in the dark
Oh, man.
and cry out in the darkness. So take 1 harm.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
exhaustion, despair, injury, or death.
Oh, it sounds like injury.
Yeah, injury.
So you manage to drag yourself back to camp and then collapse.
Oh,
and
poor
so
Alex.
Vikki and Dave, you've managed to start a nice fire and clear out the shelter when Alex collapses at the tree line, clutching his ankle. He's got some nice little. He's got a brace of little birds to him.
Yeah.
But he will require you to somehow fix his ankle before he can regain any morale.
Well, so
She said, what happened to your ankle?
I was tripped in the darkness.
Didn't you see it?
right.
The darkness? No.
Let's bring him over to the fire. So I support Alex over to the fire. One of us needs to defeather the birds while the other tends to Alex. Which do you want to do?
Well, I'm by a fire, so I'm going to be really good at whatever we're doing.
Yes.
So shall I help Alex?
Yes. Okay.
Because that seems more important
Yeah.
than defeathering the birds.
Well, I was just thinking like getting some food inside everyone would probably be helpful.
Okay.
And as you're discussing this, Ellen arrives in the firelight.
Okay. I think I'm going to be very excited to tell you all until I realise that Alex is hurt. Guys,
We'll deal with this.
okay.
No, keep talking. It'll probably like make me feel a little bit better to get my mind
Take
off
your
it.
mind off
Yeah.
it.
Could I use this as a way to boost his morale?
You can't boost his morale until he fixes his ankle.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so shall I? I'm
Need
going
to
to
strap that
attempt
thing up.
But
fix it.
potentially, so maybe hold that
I'm
thought.
going to hold the thought.
So I'll fix his ankle.
How do you go about doing that?
I get 2 sticks, put it either side of his ankle, and then tie a rope around it. That's how you fix things, right?
Sure, roll intellect. To make yourself a splint.
Because you're near a fire, you get plus.
I get
something?
plus 1, but I also get -1 because my intellect's very bad.
Oh dear.
So I'm actually at 7.
So it'll
Oh my god. So
either
close.
the splint will work reliably or it'll work now.
Oh, we
Probably reliably is better.
I think now is better because we could always make him something else if we have to go somewhere else, right?
So it works as long as you don't move it. So you've got to stay
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah.
That's nice, actually. So you
Yeah.
manage to splint it well enough that it'll be in a good position in the night
Yeah.
to like take some of the
Yeah.
pressure off it. Which means, Alex, you're no longer injured. Okay, it was very speedily removed.
Perfect. So now.
Guys,
Yeah.
Some news.
Tell us what's going on.
So, don't be angry. I went up by myself. Went
We
for a
thought you
wander.
would.
Sorry. But everything was fine. I didn't hurt myself. But I found, I don't know if you're going to believe me, Brighton Pier?
What?
No, legit. Brighton Pier. Like,
Just there.
yep, not a remake model of Brighton Pier.
The legit Brighton Pier.
Yep.
Just the structure, or
Nope, the whole thing. The whole thing. It's got arcades. It's got ice cream stalls.
but no people.
Nobody's on it.
Yeah.
But I felt this weird feeling. And I thought you guys were crazy, but genuinely, I felt like I'd been there before. And I don't mean like, obviously, I've been to Brighton,
Yeah.
but I mean like, I've been there not as me. I've been there in a completely different context that sort of contains some kind of artistic embarrassment.
That's very specific.
I really
Wow.
can't put it any better than that.
You have a strange memory that is almost like it's a second-hand memory, like it's something you remember seeing on TV or something you remember somebody telling you of crowds of people leaping from the pier that you know that you have never experienced.
That would have been in the news, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I've never heard of crowds of people leaping from Brighton Pier.
Okay.
I mean, this is weird, but ultimately, given the other stuff that we've found today,
Yeah.
kind of par for the course.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least
What
we're all
about-
mad now.
Yeah.
What about this big wheel from a paddle steamer then?
Yeah,
Like,
and you're-
I haven't had anything about that. Alex?
Yeah,
like
I
sharing?
wanted to keep that under wraps until, well, because I didn't want any more weirdness. And now that we've all experienced it, I thought, yeah, it's probably good. I've had exactly the similar feelings, but like more a sense of like impending doom, or like danger or threat or something.
Are you okay sleeping here?
Yeah, no, it's not like that. It is a threat now, but it was a threat at some
Like,
point
that's
in a
what you're
previous
associating
existence.
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
They're all so specific, aren't they, these feelings, but they're not the same.
Exactly. So,
And a large explosion.
and a large explosion.
So the paddle steam is real. There must be a helicopter. Was it a helicopter?
They said helicopter was real.
What else did they say?
The steamer was real.
The steamer and the helicopter,
which means
Island. The island.
Oh, this island. Okay.
Because that was going to be my next question.
Wait.
Because if the spaceship's real and the Brighton Pier is real, the island is putting them here? Question mark, question mark?
Maybe.
Don't know.
I want to solve a mystery.
Please do.
I mean, I feel like I actually don't have a question, but I just feel like it would be a good thing to do right now.
Why the hell not?
Okay, so I got a +1 for pursuing a mystery. Does this count?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. We just focused on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a +1 for everyone being together.
Yeah.
And I get a +1 for my intellect for this move.
Wow.
Okay. Which is good, because that is a 4. So it's a 7.
Oof. Ask a question, but I'm going to answer it.
Okay, fair. that seems fair. I think I'm going to ask...
Can we control what the island is
That's a good question.
producing?
Yeah.
If these things are here because we're here.
If these things are here because we're here, have we got any control over them? In terms of things that appear. Yeah.
Biscuits.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's the number one thing we'll be asking for. Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
You have, in fact, as you're talking out, Vikki, your thoughts about this actually catches something that rings a bell for Alex about being able to mentally influence the shape of something. So yeah, Vikki, between that and between your now stronger and stronger like ghost memories, you start to get the inkling that anything that's here that's strange, that's giving you these strange feelings, that you might be able to exert some control over their shape if you kind of apply yourself enough.
Yeah.
And there will be danger to you to do that. You know that as well.
Yeah, okay.
Wowza.
You've been listening to Merely Roleplayers. In this season, Vikki, Dave, Ellen, Alex, Nat, Strat, Starkey and Josh all play themselves, sort of, in a game designed and run by Matt. Like most of our games, this one's powered by the Apocalypse. You can find more games in this genre at apocalypse-world.com/pbta. If you enjoy the programme, let us know with a review or rating on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Listen Notes, or wherever you do your listening. You can also find us on Twitter at Merely Roleplay and at facebook.com/Merely Roleplayers. Merely Roleplayers is an independent production in association with Blackshaw Theatre Company. Join us for more drama next episode.
We didn't bring any kind of like medical equipment or knowledge, did we?
No.
I mean, I'm first aid trained, so...
Great, good.
You had plenty of first aid equipment on the boat.
In the bloody backpacks.
But you chose the compass and the tinderbox.
So take one.
They have been handy.
Yeah.
Could I only take one thing? I wasn't allowed to take the rucksack, was I?
No.
Oh, thank God, otherwise I'd be livid.
So one thing is my rucksack full of supplies.